Hello guys, it is Shivam here. Welcome to brand new video where we are going to create a Flutter app with the help of Firebase CRUD. So let me elaborate CRUD. So first one is create, second is read, third is update, last one is delete. So do not forget to drop the like button. Let's keep the like aim on this video of 1k likes. I know you will definitely do that, and do hit that subscribe button too. Now let's get started. But before we move forward, I want to introduce you to app crafting. So this is a startup started by me. So if you are looking for the app for your business or resume, we are going to make a budget friendly app for you. You can simply fill this contact form and can send us the requirements to get a awesome app in both Play Store and App Store. You can find the link of the app crafting in the description box. Let's move with a Flutter app where I'm going to use a CRUD method. The feature that I'm going to add on this Flutter app is that we are going to add a student attendance. So for an example, I'm doing a quick thing like what features we are going to add in this Flutter app and how we are going to use a Firebase CRUD in this. So basically, I am going to make one plus icon at the bottom, something like this, and here we are going to upload the student name, their roll number, their age, and attendance. So, for an example, if an a teacher who wants to use this app and they need to just add a student and they can mark present or absent in that attendance when they add a student by clicking this add button. So by this method we can simply use CRUD, C which is create, R for read, U for update, and D for delete. So let's move to the leave folder, but before that here you can see a debug banner. So you can simply remove that by simply passing debug so check banner mode check banner to false, and it will simply remove this banner. Now in the leave folder I will create a new folder name pages, and inside the pages folder I will create a new file name home.dart, and inside the home.dart I am going to write a complete function of our CRUD method. So I will simply pass flutter material.dart, then will create a stateful widget name which will be home. After this, I need to simply pass a scaffold, and in the scaffold I will pass body, container, then child, then column, then children. Yep. After this, I need to add a headline for our home page which will be like student attendance. So I in the main.dart, let's move to the home page so that I can show you what all code I am writing in home.dart file. Now I will simply pass a row and children. Now we'll pass a text widget, and inside the text widget I am going to pass student. So I will write student. Now we can pass a style which will be a text style. Now color which will be colors dot, I think so, black, and a font size up to 20.0, and font weight dot bold. Yeah, font weight dot bold. Yeah. So here you can see a student. Now we can simply center this by main axis alignment dot center. Yeah, and we can simply pass a margin so that we can see a header of this page. So we'll pass the margin from the top which will be up to 50.0. Maybe we can do up to 60, and then we can copy this text widget again and we'll paste it over here, and we'll simply pass student attendance. Yeah, so here it is, and then we can give some space if you want. So here is some space. We can change the color to blue. So here you can see a student attendance, font width dot bold. You can simply increase a font size if you want. So student attendance. Now after this, as I've told you that we are going to create a plus button at the bottom which is a floating action button. So in the scaffold I'm going to write floating action button, and we can simply pass like floating action button on press I will pass some function in the on press, and first we need to pass a child and we need to pass an icon. So I will simply write icons dot add, yeah, and the color which will be colors dot white, and we can simply pass a background color up to blue. So I will write background color colors dot blue. So here you can see the our floating action button. Now let's move and we'll create first UI for our student attendance home page. Then I am going to add a backend which is a Firebase. So let's move to the column widget and we'll simply pass an container. We can pass an width which will be media query dot of context dot size dot width. Now use of media query is that if you have followed my old series, then you already know the use of media query, but let me repeat it again. So media query is something that makes your app highly responsive. So if you want to make your app highly responsive and you want to test the app on the different devices, then you can use a media query rather than passing a fixed width to the container. Now after this, I can simply pass a decoration. So in the decoration, I'll pass box decoration. We can pass a color which will be colors dot white. And after this, I can simply pass an column. So I will write child. You can pass a column children. So here it is. Now after this, I will pass a material widget. Material widget in the container. So I will write material. Now elevation which will be up to 5.0. Now in this column widget, I first need to pass an student name that I have talked about. So I will simply pass a text and will pass a student name. So rather writing the font again and again, I will simply copy this and will paste it over here and will simply change the student name. Yeah. So we can decrease a font size, and if you want you can do up to W500. Yeah, now here you can see the container, but we can simply pass a margin. So I will simply pass a margin which will be edge inset dot only. So rather passing the margin over here, I will simply pass a margin to this container so that it can valid in all the containers that we are going to use in the column widget. So we'll from the left position and from the right position. So here it is done. Now we can pass some height from the top. So we'll pass the size box up to 30.0, and if you want, not over here, sorry, we can pass over here. If you want, you can decrease elevation to this container. So we can do up to 3, I think. So it's look good. Now we can simply pass and padding to this container. So I will pass padding edge inset dot all up to 5. Yeah, so here it is. Now I want to move this text to the left side of the screen. So I will simply pass a cross and cross axis alignment dot start. So here it is. Now let's do some more padding from the left 10.0 or maybe up to 20, and from the top we can do up to 10, and from the bottom up to 10. Yeah, so here you can see a student name, but if you want you can decrease a font size. You can pass a colon, and here it is. Now after this, I simply want to show a student name just beside this text. So I will wrap up with the row widget again. Why to write a text widget again and again? So we'll copy this and we'll paste it over here, and we'll simply change the student name. So I'm writing my name, though I'm not a student, but let's write a student name, and we can simply pass a 22, or you can do up to 20. Yeah, and we can pass a space so we can see a student name. So let's do up to 18 and 16 and 19. Yeah, so this is a font size. So I'm using a font size according to the my choice, but if you are coding with me, then you can pass a font size according to your choice, like how you want to show the font size according to your phone device. Now after this, I need to simply pass a border radius to this container. So I will move to the box decoration again. Will pass a border radius circular up to 10. Yeah. Now we'll pass same border radius to our material widget. So we'll copy this border radius and we'll paste it again over here. So here something like this. Now after this, I need to simply copy this row widget and we'll paste it over here, and we can simply pass a size box height up to 5.0. Yeah. And in the student name, not in the student name, after the student name, I need to pass a roll number of that student. So I will write roll number, and we can pass a roll number like 01. Yeah. Now many of the viewers who are watching my video for the first time, they might be think that why I'm not using any special state management to make this app, because I'm going to make this app complete for a beginner who are learning the Flutter for the first time. So I don't want to complicate the code by using that state managements that will be really difficult for the beginners to catch. So I'm trying my best to make it completely for the beginners who are learning the Flutter and Firebase for the first time. So now I'll copy this size box and the row again. We'll paste it over here, and we can pass after a roll number. We need to pass an what we need to pass, I think so it was an age. So we'll write age, and we can pass student age. So for an example 15. So here it is a student name, roll number, his age, and the final thing, attendance. Now we'll copy the size box again, I'm in the row, and we'll paste it over here. And here I need to change the text to attendance. Yeah. And we can increase the font size up to, and we can do bold attendance. Now after this, as I've told you that I'm going to show the two container, or yeah, container which will be a present and absent. So for an example, if the student is present, then the teacher who are using this app will click to the present button and it will turn to green. And if it turn to absent, then they will click to the a container, so which indicate absent, so it will turn to red. So this is what I have thought to make the attendance of that respective student. Now after this, in the row widget, let's remove this text. And as I told you, we need to create a container. So we'll create a container, we'll create a decoration, box decoration. Now color, which will be colors dot, so it is a present, so I will pass green. And after this, I need to simply pass a child and the text widget. So we'll copy this text widget and we'll paste it over here, something like this. And we can simply pass p, and we can mark it white so that I can see the text p. Now let's provide some padding. So we'll write edge inset dot all up to 5. So here you can see P, but if you want, you can provide some width up to 30, and we can center this text with a center widget. So here you can see the P container, and we can pass a size box with up to 10.0. 10.0. Yeah. Now if you want, you can increase text and the size up to your choice. So let me do, yeah, p for present, and we can pass a border radius to this container. So I will pass border radius, and will pass border radius dot circular, which will be 10. So I think so 10 will be too much, we can do 5. Yeah, p for present. Now after this, and we can create one more container for absent. So we can pass a size box with 10.0. maybe we can go up to 20, and we can show a text name A, and same red color to show absent. Yeah, so present and absent. Now, so we have wrote a complete UI. Now let's move and let's do a main thing for this video, which is first connecting a Firebase. So let's move to the Firebase and we need to enter project name. So I will simply pass Flutter and we'll write CRUD, and we can click to the continue button, continue again. Now select default account for Firebase, create project. So as you can see, Firebase is preparing our project. So wait for a few seconds. So our project is ready. Now click on continue button again and we'll directly move to the project. So here you can see that we can connect iOS, Android and web app with a Firebase. So first I'm going to connect the iOS app. Now we need a Apple bundle ID. So let's move to the Xcode and we'll simply open an Xcode. Now move to the runner and move to the signing in capabilities. Now here you will find a bundle identifier. Now copy this bundle identifier and we need to paste it over here. Click on register app and wait for a few seconds. And now download Google service-info.plist file and you will find a file over here. And if you have the older file, then simply remove that file, and here we can simply rename this file from Google service-info.plist. We'll paste it in info, click on finish. So here you can see the Google service-info.plist file. Now click on next, 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 continue to the console. So as you can see that we have successfully added the iOS app here. Now let's move with our Android app. Now here we need an Android package name. So let's move to the Android app build.gdl file and copy this application ID and we need to paste it over here. Click on register app again. And now download google-services.json file, and here you find a file, open a folder and paste it Android app folder, and don't forget to rename this file because it should be Google services.json. So if you have any number written in between that, so simply edit this file name and make it google-services.json. So here it is done. Now click on next. Now we need to add this plugin. So we'll copy this plugin and we'll move to the build.gdl again and we'll simply move over here and we'll paste it over here. So I will simply copy and paste and we'll change the sum line of the code. And here it is. We'll add some colon and again over here. Something here. Yeah. Now after this we need to copy this com google gms dot google services. Yeah, it is a plugin ID. So we'll move over here. We'll paste it over here and here. Yeah. Again remove some double inverted comma ID. Yeah. Then some dependencies. We'll paste it over here and a second dependency and we'll paste it over here. So here it is done. Now click on next again, continue to the console. So as you can see that we have successfully added iOS and Android app here. Now let's move, and for an example, so for an instance, like if you are facing any error while running the app in your Android emulator or Android real device, I will suggest you to please follow the Barber app series, because in that Barber app series I have shown you that how to run the app in your real Android device, and if you are facing any error then how to solve that error. And this and that video can help you lots to run the app. If you are running the first app in your Android device, you may face some problem, so do not need to worry, just follow that video and you can get how to run the app in your first Android emulator or real Android device if you are using. Now let's move to the Firebase again, and here you will find one Firestore database, and in this Firestore database I will show you the for function of CRUD, which is create, read, update, and delete. So now let's move and we'll simply create a database. Now click on next and click on create button. So as you can see that Firestore is taking some time to set up the security rules. So let's move to the perf dev and we need to add some packages from the perf dev and we need to simply paste in the perspec.ml file. So our first package name will be Firebase core, which will help us to connect a Firebase with a Flutter app. So move to the installing and copy this package and we'll move to the perspec.ml file and we'll paste it over here. Yeah, our second package name will be Cloud Firestore to upload the data to the Firestore database and move to the installing again and we need to copy this and we need to paste it over here. And here comes an important thing which is a random string. Now you might think that why we need a random string. So I will show you why the random string will be a most important thing during an update. So do not need to worry. Now simply run these packages that we have just added here. Now after this, if you are facing any version error, then you can simply remove this version from the packages you have added and it will simply take a specific version of the Flutter you are using. So here you can see that by simply removing the package, all the package has been run successfully. Now let's move to the home.dart file again. And first we need to move to the Firebase. I think so here. Now we need to create. So there is some internal error. So as you can see that our Firestore has set up the security rules. Now move to the rules and simply change the false to true. Do not forget to do this process and here it is. Not in the uppercase, we need to add in the lowercase. Now here you can see that your security rules are defined public, so anyone can steal your data. So no one we are going to steal a data. So this usually shows that when you are not add any authentication and directly upload the data to the Firestore database. So this is just a crude method that I am trying to teach you. So that's why I've changed the rules from false to true. And after this, let's move to the app again and let's add this function for the floating action button that we have added. Now here we need to move to the pages folder and we need to create a new file which will be add student.dart and here I need to simply first import the package by using material.dart and will pass a stateful widget which will be add student. Yeah, now we can pass a scaffold body. Now container child column. After this I need to simply add a header of this page. So I will use a row widget again, we'll paste it over here and we'll simply pass add student. So we'll write a text name add and we can pass a text again which will be student. So here it is which will be add student. Now let's navigate to this page. So I will move to the home.dart and where we have wrote on press function we can now pass navigator dot push and will simply push the user to a add page. So we'll write material page root and we'll pass a context and in the context we need to push the user to the add page. So we'll write add student page. So we'll write add student and here you can see the add student. No, you can't see because we have forgot to pass a margin. So we'll pass margin and we'll write margin agent set dot only from the top which will be 50.0 and I think so 60 will be enough. Yeah, now we need to also add a back arrow. So for an example, when the teacher, I am taking example of teacher again because the teacher is going to add a student for the classes or school they attend. So here I need to pass a back arrow. So I will simply pass icon and will pass icons dot arrow back iOS new outline, and we can pass like this. Now we need to pass over here. So I will remove this center, main axis alignment center. We can pass a margin from the left 20.0, from the right 20.0. Yeah, so here it is. Now we can simply pass a size box, and the size box with up to 50.0 will be enough. I think so it will be enough. Not enough, maybe 90 or maybe 80. Yeah, so here it is. Now after this, in add student we are going to upload a student name, a student roll number, and student age. So these three things we need to add a student name, roll number, and his age. So this is a create method. So it is a first part of our Flutter CRUD, which is create. So by this way we can create a database and can upload the database to the Firestore. So let's first add some function to the main.dart file, and we can pass a sync widgets flutter binding dot ensure initialized. Now if you are facing any problem and if you want a source code for this app, I will paste a source code link in the description box, so you can simply move and can get a source code. Let's move, and we need to add a text field. In the text field, uh, first we can show a student name, roll number, and the age. So we'll copy this text widget again and we'll paste it over here, something over here. I think so in our row widget. Yeah, row widget, and a student name. So we'll write student name, something like this. We can pass cross to move the text to the left side. So we'll write cross axis alignment dot start, and we can pass a size box up to height, which will be 40.0, and we can also change the 40 will be too much, I think so. Yeah, we can pass up to 20, and font weight dot w 500 will be good. Yeah, student name. Now we can simply add a text field. If you want you can do bold, not a worry. And text field, so we'll write container. We can pass a child, a text field, sorry, text field, yeah, and a decoration, which will be input decoration. And here you can see a text field. Now if you want to remove this line, so you can simply pass border input border dot none, and it will simply remove this line. And first we can pass a decoration, box decoration. In the box decoration I can simply pass an color. So I'm going to use a specific color on this text field. So let me copy that color code, because I don't remind that color code number. So I'll that's a random color code number. So let me paste that color code over here. So this is a color code that I'm going to use, and here you can see the text field now. Now here you can give some padding. So I will simply pass a padding edge insert dot only from the left, which will be 20.0. Yeah, and we can pass a size box which will be height, and we can pass a size box up to 5.0. Now we can pass a hint text, and in the hint text I can simply pass like enter student name, student sorry student name. Yeah, enter student name. We can pass a border radius to this container. So we'll write border radius dot circular, which will be I think so 5, or we can do 10. Yeah, so student name, we can pass a size box height 10.0, and on the top will be 30. Yeah, after this I need to copy this, we'll paste it over here, and we can change the 20.0, maybe we can do up to 30, and we can change student age. So here they need to enter student age, so I will write enter student age, something like this, and a third one which is a roll number, so I will write student roll number, so we'll write student roll number. Yeah, so student name, age, and his roll number. Now, to handle the text that the teacher or user enter on this text field, I need to pass a text editing controller. So we'll write text editing controller will pass name controller equals to new text editing controller, new text editing controller, and we can do same for the age and roll number. So we'll write age and a roll number. Yeah, and now we need to pass this text controller to each controller that we have added, I mean the each text field that we have added, and we can simply pass name controller, and for the age we can pass age controller, and third one is roll number, so we'll write roll number controller. Here it is done. After this we need to add one button over here. So here I need to write a container again, and I'm going to create a customized button rather than elevated button. So if you want you can use an elevated button, but I don't prefer to use an elevated button. Now after this I need to pass decoration, box decoration. We can pass a color which will be colors dot blue, and a border radius which will be border radius dot up to circular 10. Yeah, so here it is. Now after this I can simply pass a child. Now we need to pass a text widget, so we'll copy this and we'll paste it over here. Now if you have any question regarding the thing that you are can't understand, or if you are facing any problem, you can directly write a that problem in the comment box. I can see that and can reply you. But if you want you can follow my Instagram ID, you can find the link in the description box, and you can directly ping me on my Instagram ID. That will help you to get a quick reply from my side. Now I can simply change the color to white, and we will change the text to add. Yeah, now I can simply increase the font size 25, and we can center this by using a center widget, and we can completely center this container, and we can pass a size box up to height which will be 30.0, and if you want you can pass some padding. So we'll write padding edge inset dot from symmetric, and we can pass vertical 10.0. Yeah, or maybe 8 will be good. We can do 150. Yeah, so here you can see the add button. Now if you want you can provide some more height which will be 50. Now after this let's move and add this data to the Firestore database. So I need to do one thing, like we need to create a new folder name which will be service, and I will try to make a separate file for the database because I don't want to write all the function over here and make it like you can't understand the code that I'm writing, and it will be like very messy to understand the code. Now we can pass a class and database methods, and do like this. Yeah, so let's move and we'll write future, and here after this I need to write a function name which is add student, and here I need to pass a map. So I will pass a map and will pass a string dynamic. Now if you are the new viewer who are watching the videos for the first time, and if you haven't watched my old series, Like we have already made 10 to 11 apps on this channel before. So let me explain the use of map. The map is a combination of key value pair. So here in the map, we are going to use a key which is a string, and the dynamic that you are showing is a value. So dynamic is something that you can upload a number, a boolean character, a string. So it is a dynamic. Now here I can simply pass a map name which will be a student info map. So I will write student info map. Yeah. Now after this I need to pass a ID. So here is the random string that we'll use, and in this ID we are going to pass a unique ID that will be specifically given to that student list, not student list, student ID. So here we need to pass an async. Now async await will wait until the complete function will be called. So here we need to return. So I will pass and return. Now Firebase firestore dot instance dot collection. Now collection, in this collection we need to pass a student name. So I will write students, yeah, students doc a specific id dot set method, and in the set method we need to pass a map name which is a student info map. Yeah. So student collection. So let's move to the firestore, and here is, you can see a start collection button, and you can pass a collection ID, but here you can see a student collection. So here it will automatically create a students collection, and here you will see a doc ID, and here there you will see a document that will be uploaded to the students collection one by one. So let me show you how I'll do that. So we'll move to the add button again. We'll wrap up with a gesture detector, and in the onTap method I will simply pass one thing like if, like for an example, if the teacher have entered the student name, age, and he forgot to add a roll number and directly click on the add button, so it will show the bug when the teacher will move to the home page, and it will tell him that the roll number is not present for this student, and it will be taking lot of time to solve that error. So I will simply pass an if case and will tell that please fill all this text field, then click to this add button. So we'll write like name controller.text should not be equals to space, and our age controller.text should not be equals to space. This means that it should not be a blank, and same for the roll number. So we'll write roll number.text should not be equals to space, something like this. And if this case will be true, then we'll create a map, and as I told you, map is a combination of key value pair. So now I'll show you how to create a key value pair, and we'll write a map name which is student info map. Yeah, something like this. Now first we need to pass a student name, so we'll write name. Now to get a name that the teacher entered on this text field, I need to pass name controller.text, and we'll do same for the age. So we'll write age, and we'll write age controller.text, and we'll do same for the roll number. So we'll write roll number, and we'll pass like roll number controller.text. Now after this we need to also create a unique ID that I've told you. So we'll write string, we'll pass add ID, and we'll pass random alphanumeric 10, and it will pass a 10 numeric, not numeric, it is alphanumeric. So it will contain a numeric and the string character. Now after this I need to simply pass an database. So I will pass like async, not over here, we can pass it async await database methods dot add student, and we need to pass info map which is a student info map, and a unique ID which is add ID. Yeah, dot then. So for an example, if the data is uploaded, we need to also show that the data has been uploaded to the Firestore. So to show that, we need to add a snack bar, or you can, yeah, you can say a snack bar. So let's move, and first we need to add a snack bar. So to show a snack bar, I need to simply write scaffold messenger dot of context dot snack bar, so snack bar, and we need to pass a snack bar, and in the content we need to pass a text that we want to show over here, over on the screen. So I need to pass like student data uploaded, student data has been uploaded, has been uploaded, yeah, it's been uploaded. And if you want, you can show on a green color, so you can pass background color, which will be colors dot green, yeah, something like this. Now if you want, you can pass some more styling. So in the styling, I just need to increase the font size so that the user can see it easily. So we'll write font size, which will 20.0. We can pass bold, font weight dot, yeah, something like this. After this, we can also empty this text field. So for an example, if the teacher wants to upload like 10 student data to the Firestore, then he can be quick on this action, and he can add one more student name after the another. They don't need to like remove a complete student name and then they need to re-enter a new name. So we can simply enter the text field when the data has been uploaded. So we'll do one thing, like we can just mark name controller dot text should be equals to space. Same for the age, we'll pass age controller text should be equals to space, and we'll do same for the roll number. So we'll write roll number dot text should be equals to space, yeah, something like this. Now here it is done. Now as we have added a Firestore database and everything, so we need to rerun the app again. So hot restart will not work over here, so you need to completely rerun the app again. So let me rerun the app. I have rerun the app again, and here it is. But there is one more thing, like I have told you that there is a present and absent attendance that the teacher will manage from the home page. So to do that, we need to upload the data to the Firestore database, because I want that once the teacher update the specific student data, like he is present, then it will be stored in the Firestore database, so that once the teacher closes the app and opens the app, he can still find that which student is present or absent. So to do that, I need to simply move to the add student, and here where we have wrote a map, we'll just pass absent, and in the absent I will just pass false, and will pass present, present, yeah, and will mark it false. So when the teacher is making a student ID, will keep them both false, and as they update, then we'll use our third method, which is update, to update this data. So first, now we are at the first part, which is create. So let's move, and we'll simply write a student name, yeah. So let's move, and we'll create, and we'll write a student name. So I will write my name, not over here, I will need to write over here. So we'll write Shivam, and we'll write Gupta, and let's write a random age. So I'm not 20, but I'm writing 20. So we'll write student roll number. So we'll write roll number, which is up to 50, or you can just keep like 1, and click on add button, and let's see if the data has been uploaded. So here you can see that student data has been uploaded, and here you can see that now the teacher can enter another student name without removing the again name from the text field, because we have already passed that once the data has been uploaded, we can simply empty that text field. Now let's move to the Firestore database, and let's check what data has been uploaded over there. So we'll simply refresh this page, and here you can find a collection that I was talking about. So here you will find a students collection, So here you can see a student's collection, the unique ID that we have provided, the absent, present, name, age, and his roll number. So these are the data that we have just uploaded from the emulator, iPhone emulator. So our create method is done, and if you haven't hit that like button till now, then please hit that like button and hit that red button too, because that's a subscribe button, so you won't miss out on any of the upcoming videos we upload on this channel. And let's be a part of this Flutter family. After this, let's move and we can wrap up the icon with a gesture detector. And in the gesture detector, I simply want to move back to the home page. So we'll write navigator dot pop context. Yeah, and we can simply move to the home page here again. Now our create is done. Now second is read. Now we need to read the data that has been uploaded to the files to database. So to read the data, I will do one thing. We'll use a stream builder, and through the stream builder we are going to read that data. Now to read that data, I will simply give some space and will create a function name which will be show student. So we'll write widget and we need to write show students. Let's keep show students list, and here I need to simply pass a stream builder that I was talking about. So to pass a stream builder, first we need to create a stream and we'll write student stream, student stream stream. Yeah, we can pass null check error, and we can pass a return, we can pass a stream builder. In this stream builder I need to first pass a stream, so we'll write stream and our stream name is student stream, and in the builder I need to pass an context and a sync snapshot. Basically a sync snapshot is something that will help us to get the respective documents that present in that collection. So we need to get a collection name students, snapshot will get help to get all the document that present in students collection. So a sync snapshot. Now after this I need to simply return, so I will write return. Now I will write snapshot dot data dot has data. So we'll check that if the collection that the students we have mentioned contains a documents or not. So if there will be a document, then we'll show that the documents in the form of list view dot builder. Okay, now after this I need to do one thing, like I need to simply first return list view dot builder. Yeah, everything is correct. Yeah, padding, first need to pass padding edge inset dot 0 because I don't need padding in list view builder. Now after this we need to simply pass one case, like if there will be documents, then we are going to show the documents by the use of list view dot builder, and if there are not any documents available, then we'll just show the container. Now after this I need to simply pass item count, which will be snapshot dot data dot dot docs dot length, and we'll simply get the all the documents, how many documents that present in the respective collection in the item count. And now after this I can simply pass an item builder context index. Now after this I need to pass here a document snapshot so that I can get the data of each document now. So I will write ds equals to snapshot dot data. It will be a snapshot dot data dot docs dot length, sorry, dot index. Now after this I need to simply pass a return, and here now we are going to pass the UI of the container that we have just wrote. So we'll copy this complete container from here. I think so we can include, we have missed something. Yeah, student not, we have wrote this stream builder in the long place. I will simply cut it from here, sorry for that, and we'll paste it in the home page, sorry for that again, and here we paste it. And now after this I need to copy this material widget, and we'll copy and we'll paste it over here, and we'll paste it here, something like this. So here it is done. Now padding the item count. Now we need to also pass a sync wrap which will be true, and a scroll direction which will be axis dot vertical, because we need to show the all the containers in the vertical position. Now we have wrote the code that we just want to show. Now we need to just call the field name. Now when you are writing the field name, that should be exact that what you have wrote in the Firebase. So if there will be any mismatch and you wrote something that is not present in the document field, then you will frequently get an error. So here you will see that name, so I simply need to write name and a roll number. So we'll write ds and a roll number, which is this roll number. So we'll need to write roll number and the age. So we'll write ds age. Yeah. Now let's call this stream, and we need to just write a function to create, not to create, to read a database from the Firestore. So here comes our second function to read the data from the Firestore database. So now we are going to write a function name which will be get student list. So I will simply pass a future, and now we need to pass a stream, and in the stream we need to pass a query snapshot. So query snapshot, yeah, and get student details, something like this. Now after this I need to pass a sync and a return, then await Firebase Firestore dot instance dot collection, and here we need to pass a collection which is students dot snapshot. You already know the use of snapshot now, so here it is. Now let's call this function in our home page. So I will simply write get on the load function, and we'll write student stream equals to await database methods dot get student details, and we'll pass set state. And now we need to pass this on the init state, because when you will start the app, the init state is the first function that usually call in any home.dart page. So init state is the first function that call when the app starts, or you can say a respective dart file starts. Now a set state, you already know the use. If not, let me tell you. If set state is something that help us to refresh the thing. So for an instance, if we get a data here, then we can frequently refresh this, and we can also pass the data in the student stream, and then we can show that data in the form of list view. So here it is done. Now we can pass get on the load over here. So here it is. Now let me save all the file, then let hot restart the app again. Yeah, so let me call this function so that I can see the data. So let's show student list, and here it is. Let's hot restart the app again. I think so. there is some bug. Dot html. So there is a dot html. So just remove this. It's come automatically. Yeah. Now let's refresh this again. And here you can see that this is a data that we have get from the Firestore database. A student name, the age 20, roll number 1, and the attendance that we need to add now. So we are getting a data from the Firestore database. Now we can also pass a margin. So edge insert dot only from the bottom, which will be 20.0. Yeah. Do one thing, just wrap up with a container and a margin from the bottom. Yeah. So now let's handle this attendance case. So if the present and absent is both false, then we just need to show the container with a white color. We don't need to show the color now, because I want that when the teacher press to P, that means the student is present, then we'll change the color to green. So if it is if it is false, then we just need to show the container. So I will simply write check that if ds present, so we'll write ds present is equals to false. Yeah. So if ds present is equals to false, then we just need to show the container. So we'll copy this and we'll paste it over here, something like this. Now if it is false, then we don't need to show the color, we just need to show a border, which will be border dot all. Yeah. It is a boolean character, so don't pass in here, and we need to change it to black, something like this. So here you can see the if the data is false, then we do same for an absent. So we'll absent and we'll pass absent absent. Yeah, false. Then we need to again show this container. So I'll copy this container and we'll just change the text to A. So we'll paste it over here and we'll change the text to A. So I will change text to A, something like this. Now, so now the present and absent is false. So that's why it is on white color. Now when the user will tap to this P container, then we need to change it to green to mark that this student is present. And if it is absent, then the teacher will simply press to this A and will mark that the student is absent. So to do that, here comes our third thing, which is update. So we have till now learned create, read that I have shown you that we are reading the data by using a stream builder. Now third part is update. Now in this update, we are going to update the data, like when the teacher will tap to this P container, then it will simply change this present to true and it will simply mark green color over here. Okay, so to handle this, I need to move to the database, and first I need to write a function to update the data. So I will write update attendance. Take attendance. Yeah. Now after this, I need to simply pass a string like which container the teacher have choose, either it is present or absent. So I don't need to write a two function. By just using a single function, I can handle that. So I will simply pass a string and will pass a case. Rather than writing a case, we can write attendance case. Okay. Now after this, async, and here comes a main thing that I was talking about, to passing the unique ID to the each document. So we'll pass a string ID and we need to get a unique ID in this ID. The unique ID is this ID because once I move to the student collection, I need to move to this unique ID and then I need to change the present or absent to true. So to do that, I need to simply just write return await Firebase Firestore dot instance and collection, and we'll write a collection name which is students. Yeah, and we'll write dot update function. So for that we need to pass a specific doc id. We'll move to that doc id that I've shown you, and then we are going to update that document. So here we need to write an exact field name that what we want to update. So I will write attendance case, and in this attendance case I will simply pass present or an absent, and here we'll change the thing to true. Yeah, so here it is done, and we have wrote this. Now let's check. Let's add this function in the home page. So for an example, if the teacher tab to this, so we'll wrap up with a widget, we'll pass gesture detector, and in the on tab we can simply pass like date, wait a second, async await database methods dot update attendance, and here we are updating the present. So we'll write present present and the specific doc id. So we'll simply pass the doc id by using ds.id. Yeah, and we'll do same for the absent. So we'll wrap up with a gesture detector again. In the on tap method, we'll first pass async, we'll paste it over here, and we'll write absent. Yeah, so here it is. Now let's check this. So first hot restart the app again. Now I will simply tap to this P, and here you can see that it changes to green. So let's check what the data has been updated in the Firestore database. So here you can see that the present has been changed from false to true. So our update is also working brilliantly. Now let's add one more student name. So let's keep the name like Ayush Gupta, and the student age let's keep up to 16, and the roll number will be 3. Now add this student. So the student has been added. Now let's move back, and here you can see a student name. Now let's mark absent over here. I'll press absent, and here you can see that it changes to red. So here you can see the second document, and you will find the absent will be true, yeah, and present is false. So it is working brilliantly, and I have shown you a third part of CRUD, which is update. Now a last part, which is delete. So if you haven't hit that like button till now, then please show your support, because I'm trying my best to explain each and every line of the code that I'm writing here, so that everyone who are learning the Flutter and Firebase for the first time can simply get to know what I'm writing over here. Now after this, our third function, which is delete. Now to delete the data, I will simply add a bin icon over here. So to remove this, I need to just pass an icon, which will be icons dot delete. Yeah, and we can pass the color, which will be colors dot black. Yeah, so here you can see the icon bin. Now you can pass a spacer, and spacer will give a maximum space between these two widgets, and you can pass an padding if you want to give some spacing. So from dot only, imagine set dot on, sorry, only from the right, which will be 10.0. Now if you want, you can increase the bin size up to size, which will be 30.0 or maybe 25. Yeah, so here it is. Now when the teacher will type to this bin icon, he simply wants that this student attendance should be removed from here. So to delete this, I need to move to the database and we need to copy this function and we'll paste it over here and we'll just make some update and we'll simply change the function name delete student data. Yeah, we don't need an attendant case. We'll remove this. We just need a student ID, doc ID, and we need to just call dot delete. Yeah, and here it is. So here it is after this, where we have wrote an icon here. So we'll wrap up with the gesture detector, and again in the ontap method, we'll pass async await database methods dot delete user data, and again a doc id. Yeah, so here it is. Now let's start the app again. Now I'm deleting this Ayush Gupta details, so I'll tap to this and here you can see that it just take a few seconds to delete this data from the Firestore from the Flutter app. Now let's check from the Firestore database if that document has been deleted from there or not. So here you can see now a single document is only available, which is Shivam Gupta, which is shown here. So our fourth function is also done, which is delete. So this function was for create. So you can simply write like it is for create. This was for the delete, not delete, read. And this was for the update, date, and the fourth one was for delete. So we'll write delete. So this four function for create, read, update, and delete. So here we have done a complete thing for a CRUD method, and where I have shown you all the things to how to update the data, delete a data, read a data, and create a data. If you want to learn more about the Flutter apps, you can follow some series, and I have already made a chat app, e-commerce app, and barber app on this channel. And if you want to get the source code of this CRUD app, you can find the link in the description box and show your support by hitting that like button, because your like will help us to keep going and bring some more awesome videos on this channel, and hitting the subscribe button will add you in our Flutter family. But before we move forward, I want to introduce you to app crafting. So this is a startup started by me. So if you are looking for the app for your business or resume, we are going to make a budget friendly app for you. You can simply fill this contact form and can send us the requirements to get an awesome app in both Play Store and App Store. You can find the link of the app crafting in the description box. But before moving to the code, let me show you what all things we will learn on today's video and how your app will look alike at the end of this video. So today we are going to learn a Flutter Firebase CRUD method by a real project. I am going to make a simple app here because I want that the beginner who is learning a Flutter and Firebase for the first time, they can understand the each code that I will write in the VS Code. So on this app, we'll upload a employee detail to the respective company by using a employee form, and employee have to enter their name, age and location to the Firestore database, and through the employee collection will show all the employee to the respective company in our home page. So we are going to give a company name Flutter Firebase here, and in the home page you can see the floating action button. Now when I click to the floating action button here, then it will directly take me to the employee form page, and here I will fill a employee detail here like name. So I'll enter a name Vivek Sharma and his age 34 and the location United States. Now when I click to the add button, then you can see that employee detail has been added successfully. Now let's move to the Firebase and we'll check if the respective document has been uploaded to the Firestore database or not. So in the employee collection, you can see the second document which we have just uploaded from our app, which is age 34, name Vivek Sharma, and location United States. So this was the first part of our CRUD method, which is create. Now let's move to the second part, which is read. So let's move to the home page, and here you can see the all employee list here. And let's move to the Firebase, and you can see the first employee name Pritam Singh, age 30, and second employee name Vivek Sharma with location United States. So this was a second part of our CRUD method, which is read. So we can successfully read all the data from the Firestore database and can show in our app. Now here comes our third part, which is update. Now when I'll click to the pencil icon here, and we need to change Pritam Singh age to 50, and we'll click in the update button. You can see that it just take a few seconds to update Pritam Singh age to 50 here. Now let's move to the Firebase, and you can see that in the Firebase the age has been also changed to 50. Now let's change the employee name here to Divyansh Sharma. Now click in the update button, and we can also change a respective employee name, and you can see the same changes in the Firestore database. This was a third part, which is update. Now let's move to the fourth part, which is delete. Now when I click to the delete icon here, then it will delete the respective employee detail from the Firestore database, and it just take a few seconds to delete the details of that respective employee from the employee collection. So you can see that how I've created a CRUD method here by using a simple but a real project, so that each and every viewer who are watching this video or learning a Flutter Firebase for the first time can understand each and every code that I will write on this video. I will also suggest you, please do not skip any of the process or part from this video, because each and every process is necessary to get the result that I have just shown you now. So by the end of this video, you are going to learn lots of things regarding the Flutter and Firebase, because I will also tell you how to connect the Firebase for both Android and iOS. So let's move to the code and develop a real project from scratch. Now you can see the debug banner at the right top of the screen. So to remove the debug banner from the app, we need to go to the main.dart file, and in the material app we'll write debug. So checked mode banner to false, and making it to false, it will remove the banner from the top. Now we'll create a new folder named pages here, and in the pages folder I will create a new file named home.dart, and inside the home.dart file I will write import flutter material.dart, and will create a stateful widget named home here. Now we are going to use a init state, set state, and lots of function in our home.dart file. That's why I am using a stateful widget here. And if there is any case, like if you don't want to use a set state, init state, then you can use a stateless widget. So I am writing a stateful widget here. Now body, now we'll write scaffold, body, container, child, column. So now you can see that after writing the widgets, there is a blue line under each widget, which doesn't look good when you are coding in the VS Code. So to remove the blue underline from the widgets, I will add two lines in the analysis options.yaml file, and after adding this line, it will almost remove the blue lines from our widgets. So this is a small trick that you can use in your app whenever you find blue lines below your widgets. Now in the rule section, you will add two lines. Now save the page, and let's move to the home.dart file again, and here you can see that almost blue lines disappear from our widgets. Now in the scaffold widget, I will first create a app bar where I will show the company name, though I'm using a company name Flutter and Firebase, just a random name here, and in the title I will write row, and I will create a first text widget here. Now to show what all things I have wrote in the home.dart file, let's move to the main.dart file, and in the home I will call a home.dart file here so that I can show you what all things I am writing in the home.dart file. Now let's hot restart the app. Now in the row I will first write a text widget, and in the text widget I will write a word flutter and will give the styling to the text widget by using a text style. Now, if you are a beginner and getting confused why I'm using a text widget, container widget, etc. in the app, then you can know about these widgets in more detail by following one of my video that I have created on this channel, which tells about these widgets in the more detail, and it will also help you to implement as much function you want in your Flutter app by using this widgets. I will paste the link in the comment box, so you can also refer that video and can know more about Flutter widgets. So we'll write color blue, font size 20.0 and font weight dot bold. Now here you can see the first text. Now just beside of it I will write a second text named Firebase. That's why I have used a row widget here so that I can write two words together. Now we'll write colors dot orange, and here you can see the Flutter Firebase text. Now if I want to move this text to the center, then I will go to the row and will write main axis alignment dot center, and it will quickly center our both the text. Now I will create a floating action button here because as I've told you, there will be one more screen from where the employee will fill the form and they will add their detail to the Firestore database. So I will go to the scaffold and will write floating action button on pressed, and in the child I will pass icons.add. So here you can see the floating action button with a icon add. Now I want that when I tap to this button, then we'll move to the employee form page. So I will create one more file in our pages folder named employee.dart, and will again create a stateful widget named employee here. Now we'll write scaffold, body, column, children. Now to push the user to the employee.dart page, let's move to the home.dart file, and in the onPress method I will write navigator.push context and will write material page route. This function will help us to navigate the user to the employee.dart page so that it can fill the form and can upload to the Firestore database. So by this method, we can successfully move to the employee.dart file. Now let's copy the app bar that we have just wrote in the home.dart file. So it will as it is, and will just change the text to employee form here. Now you can see that after creating app bar, it automatically creates a back arrow in our app bar. So after tapping to the back arrow, we'll directly move to the home page. Now in the column widget, I will write the text name here so that employee can upload their name. So we'll write text widget name. So inside the text widget, we'll write name and we'll give the styling by using the text style. Now I want to provide the spacing from the left side. So I will write edge insert dot only left 20.0. and we'll also give the margin from the top 30.0. Now let's increase the font size to 24. I am trying to create this app as simple as I can because I want that someone who is developing their first app through my this video can understand the Flutter code very easily and can follow some more series that we have already uploaded in our channel. So through this app they can learn all the basics regarding the Flutter and Firebase, and after learning the basics from the Flutter and Firebase, they can directly move to the chat app, to do app or food delivery app to master their app development skills. So I'm not going to make it more complex for the viewers who are watching the Flutter code for the first time. So I will try to keep as simple as I can so that you can learn each and everything regarding the Flutter and Firebase through this video. Now in the container I will write text field. Now let's hot reload, and here you can see the text field with a underline. Now I want to move the name to the left side of the screen in our column widget cross axis alignment dot start, and it will directly move the name to the left side of the screen. Now I want to remove this underline from the text field, so I will write decoration, input decoration, border, input border dot none. So if you want to learn more about the text field, then as I have already told you the video where I have told lots of things regarding the text field widget 2, you can follow that video link in our comment box. Now we'll write decoration, box decoration, and we'll first give the border to our container. So I will write border dot all. Now here you can see the text field. Now let's provide the margin from the right side. So we'll write 20.0. Now let's give the spacing from the top. So we'll use size box height 10.0. Now let's provide the border radius to the container. So we'll write border radius dot circular 10. So here on the text field we can type as much text we want. So I'm writing my name Shivam Gupta here. Now I want to provide the padding from the left side. So I will write padding edge insert dot only left 5.0. Sorry, 10.0. Now let's create some more text field so that the employee can enter age and location too. Now let's create a button here, add, so that user can directly press the add button and can upload the data to the Firestore database. Now to create a direct button, I will write elevated button here, and in the on press will pass a function that will be executed when the user will press this button, and in the child will write text widget, and in the text widget will write add text here, and will give the styling to the text widget by using a text style. Now let's center the button here. So we'll wrap up with a center widget. Now we'll provide the space. So we'll write size box height 30.0. So we have created a complete UI for our employee form page. Now let's move and add the Firebase to our app so that we can upload the data to the Firestore database. First, I will create a project in our Firebase. So let's move to the Firebase, and we need to enter a project name here. So I'm writing basic app. Now click on continue, again on continue, Now use default account for Firebase, create project. So as you can see, Firebase is creating your project. So wait for a few seconds. So click on continue and we'll directly move to the Firebase. And here you can see that we can add iOS app, Android app and web app through the Firebase. So first I will add a iOS app here, then we'll move to the Android app. So in the iOS app, first we need a Apple bundle ID. So let's move to the X code and we need to copy the bundle identifier from there and paste it in the Firebase. So move to the runner, then signing and capabilities and copy the bundle identifier from here and will paste it in Apple bundle ID. Now click in the register app and download the Google service-info.plist file. Now make sure that it should be Google service-info.plist file. If anything is written rather than this, then make sure you edit them. Now just paste it below the info and click on finish. So it is done. Now let's move to the Firebase again. Click on next, next, again on next, continue to the console. So as you can see, we have successfully added the iOS app here. Now let's move to the Android app. Now we need a Android package name here. So we'll go to the Android app build.gradle file and we'll move to the application ID and we'll copy the application ID from here and we'll paste it in the Android package name. Now click in the register app again. Now download google-service.json file and it should be also in the google-services.json file, and if anything is written rather than this, then make sure you edit them. Now paste it in the Android app folder. So it is done. Now click on next. Now copy the plugin from here and we need to paste in the Android build.gradle file, and in the class path we'll paste this plugin. Now we need to change some of the line of the code for our class path. I will also recommend you to please do not skip any of the process while setting up the Firebase, because each and every step is necessary so that we can connect the app for both Android and iOS. Now let's move and we'll copy the plugin and we'll go to the Android app build.gradle file, and in the apply plugin we'll paste the code and we'll again change some line of the code here. Now we'll copy the dependency from here and we'll paste it to the same file in the dependencies. Now second line. Now click to the next, continue to the console. So as you can see, we have successfully added the iOS app and Android app here. Now let's move to the pub.dev, because we need to copy some of the packages from here and paste it inside the pub.yaml file. So here comes our first package name, Firebase core, to enable the Firebase in our Flutter app. So move to the installing, copy the dependency from here and paste it in the pub.yaml file. Now to access the Cloud Firestore from our Flutter app, here comes our second package name, Cloud Firestore. Now move to the installing again and we'll copy the same dependency and paste it inside the pub.yaml file. So it is done. Now run all the packages in our Flutter app. Now let's move to the Firebase again, because we need to enable some of the function for our Cloud Firestore so that we can upload the data from our Flutter app. So we'll move to the Firestore database, click on Get Started button, click on Next, then in the Enable button. So as you can see, Firestore is setting up some security rules So wait for a few seconds. Now let's move to the rules and we need to change it to false to true. Please do not skip this process because if you don't change the rule from the Firestore, then you can't upload the data to the Firestore database. So do not forget to change the rules from the Cloud Firestore. So we have successfully added a Firebase in our Flutter app. So in the Firebase, here it will be the collection name and the document ID, and we will upload one by one employee detail here. Do not need to worry. I will make it very easy for the beginners who are learning the Flutter Firebase for the first time so that they can upload the details to the Firestore database in just few seconds. Now in the lib folder, I will create a new folder name service here, and inside the service folder, I will create new file name database.dart file. So many of the developers might do that. They will write all the functions regarding the Firebase in the same file where they have created the UI. But I always recommend you to create a separate file like database.dart file or any other file from where you can write all the Firebase function and can call them by using a single code. This will make your code really clean and you can customize your app very easily, and it will also save lots of time while writing a Flutter app in the VS Code. Now in the database.dart file, I will create a class named database methods. Now we'll write future and we'll write add employee detail function here, which will be called when the user will click in the add button here and will pass a map string dynamic. Now you might be thinking that why I've used a map string dynamic here. Basically map string dynamic help us to upload the user form easily to the Cloud Firestore. So in the string we'll pass name, age, location, and in the dynamic method you can pass anything like string, integer, boolean character, etc. I will show you how to upload the user details by using a map string dynamic here. So we'll write a employee info map. Now we'll write async. We'll also write a string ID here. Basically string ID is because as I've told you there will be a specific ID for the each document that we will upload to the Firestore database so that we can delete, update a specific employee detail from our app easily. So by passing the unique ID, you can quickly update or delete the specific document from the Firestore database in just few seconds. Now we'll write Firebase firestore.instance.collection and employee will be our collection name and specific doc ID, and we'll write .set method to upload the user info map here. Now to handle the text in our text field, we'll write text editing controller name controller equals to new text editing controller. So by using a text editing controller, we can easily handle the text that the user will enter on these three text field. So we'll create each controller for this text field. Now let's pass the controller in our text field. So we'll write controller, name controller, and same for the age. We'll write controller, age controller, and for the location, location controller. So if you have any questions regarding the things we are writing here, you can comment me in the comment box. I will try to answer all the problems regarding the Flutter app you are facing here, or you can DM me directly in my Instagram ID so that I can quickly provide you the solution regarding the problem you are facing. Now we'll write map string dynamic here, and as I've told you, I will show you how to upload the user detail by using a map string dynamic. So our string will be the name, and through the name controller.text we will get the text that the user will enter in this text field. So to get the text from the specific text field, we need to write first the controller then dot text to get all the text that the user will enter on this text field. So same for the age and the location. Now I will write async await database methods dot add employee detail, and in the map string we'll pass a employee info map that I have just shown you in the database.dart file, and in the ID we'll pass a unique ID here. So to create a unique ID, let's move to the perf dev and we need to copy the package name random string so that we can create a unique ID for the each document here. Now we'll write string ID equals to random alphanumeric 10, and it will provide a random alphanumeric of 10 characters here, and will pass a specific ID to the map string so that we can easily handle the employee details here, and same to the database methods. Now, after uploading the details to the Firestore database, I want to show the user that if the details have been uploaded to the Firestore database or not. To show the hint or a toast message, we need to copy a Flutter toast package from our pub dev. Now go to the readme section, and here you can copy the code for both Android and iOS, and will paste after writing dot then method. So it itself says that after completing the database methods function, it will show the text message that employee detail has been added successfully. Now to run all the code, let's move to the terminal, and first we need to write a flutter clean command here, then flutter run to run all the packages that we have just added in the prospect.ml file and the complete app to our emulator. So our app has launched successfully. Now, before uploading the details to the Firestore database, we need to go to the main.dart file and add the few lines to enable the Firebase in our Flutter app. So we'll write in a void main function async, and we'll write widgets flutter binding dot ensure initialized, and we'll write await firebase.initialize app. Do not forget to add this line in your main.dart file, otherwise you can't upload the details to the Firestore database. Now let hot restart it again, and when I click to the floating action button, then it will directly take us to the employee form here, and in the name I will write Shivam Gupta here, and will pass some random age at the location India. Now I will click to the add button, and as you can see employee detail has been added successfully. Now let's move to the Firebase and let's check if the detail has been added to the Firebase or not. So we'll refresh the page, and here you can see the collection name employee and the specific ID with a age 30, location India, and the name that we have just uploaded from our device. So we can successfully add the detail to the Firestore database So let's upload a second employee name Rahul Sharma and will pass age 50 and location United States. Now click in the add button. So employee detail has been added successfully and you can see the second user detail has been added to the same collection employee here. So our create method is working brilliantly and you have learned how to upload the user detail to the Firestore database. So from the CRUD method, you have learned how to upload a first method which is create. So this was the one of the easiest way that I have tried to explain to our viewers so that they can easily upload the details to the Firestore database in just few seconds. So if you are enjoying this video and want to show some extra love and support, consider buying us a virtual coffee. Every sip fuels our coding adventure and keeps the Flutter magic alive. You can find the link in the description box. Now let's move to the our second part, which is a read from our CRUD method. So from the read, we'll show all the details that we have just uploaded to the Firestore database in our home screen. So let's move to the home.dart file and we'll first create a UI, then we'll add a function so that we can get all the details from the Firestore database in just few seconds. Now we'll write container and we'll write with media query dot of context dot size dot width. Now you might be thinking that why I have used a media query in a with here. Basically, media query is something that makes your app highly responsive. So if you want that container to use a complete width of your device automatically, then you can use a media query here rather than providing a specific number to your width. Now we'll write decoration, box decoration, and we'll pass color, colors.white, and border radius dot circular 10. Now we'll pass column in our child widget. Now in the children, we'll write text name and we'll show the name of our employee here. So for now, I'm writing name Shivam Gupta. Now style, text style, colors.blue and font size 20.0 and font weight dot bold. Now hot reload and here you can see the name of that employee. Now we'll wrap up a container with a material widget so that we can clearly see the container widget here and we'll provide a border radius to the material widget. And here you can see the container widget clearly. So let's provide the margin from the left and right side of the screen. So in the container, I will write margin edge insert.only left 10.0 and right 10.0. So here you can see the margin. Let's increase the margin to 20 for both left and right side. Now also provide the margin from the top 30.0. Now we'll write age 50. Don't think that my age is 50. I have just wrote a random age here. Now we'll copy the same text widget and we'll show the location of that specific employee. So in the location, I'm writing India. Now let's give the padding to the container. So we'll write padding edge insert.all 20. Now to move the text to the left side, we'll use a cross axis alignment dot start. So this is just a UI. Now we'll show all the details from the Firestore database by using a stream builder function. So through the stream builder function, it will automatically shows all the documents in the respective collection in just few seconds. And if you update or delete any of the document from the Firebase, then the stream builder will quickly shows the update in our app in just few seconds. So I will always recommend you that when you want to show the documents from the Firestore database, then always use a stream builder here. Now let's move to the database.dart file and we'll create a function get employee detail, because by using this function we'll get all the details from the Firestore database. So we'll write future stream query snapshot. Basically query snapshot will help us to read all the documents for that respective collection. Now we'll write Firebase Firestore dot collection and we'll pass a collection name employee and dot snapshot so that we can get all the documents from the respective collection. So we have created a get employee details function so that we can read all the employee details from the Firestore database. Now let's move to the home.dart file and here I will write stream employee stream widget all employee details, and in the return I will create a stream builder here, and in the builder I will write context a sync snapshot and return snapshot dot has data. So snapshot will check that if the data present in a respective collection or not. So if there will be a data or a document in the respective collection, then it will show all the data by using a list view dot builder. And if not, then it will just show a container here. Now in the stream builder, I will create a stream employee stream that we have just wrote above. Now in our list view dot builder, I will first get the count of all the documents that present in our respective collection so that we can handle all the document one by using the index of that respective document. Now in the item builder, I will write document snapshot ds equals to snapshot dot data dot docs index and will return the container that we have just wrote for the UI. So we'll cut a complete material widget from here and we'll paste it inside the list view dot builder. Now in the name I will pass ds and a respective field name here, and same for the age and the location. Please make sure when you are writing a field name in a ds, then it should be exact that what you have mentioned in the Firestore database. If there is a something mismatch like a space or a character small or capital, then it will not read a respective document from that collection. Now we'll create get on the load function here because I want that as soon as we opens the app, then the app will quickly collects all the details from the respective employee collection, and in the employee stream we'll pass database method dot get employee detail, and we'll use a set state method so that we can quickly pass the details to the list view builder, and in the init state I will call a get on the load function. Now the reason for passing the function in the init state is because init state is the first function that usually calls when the app launches. Now we'll write all employee details function in our column widget so that we can show all the details, and we'll wrap up with a expanded widget so that it can use a complete height of our device. Now after hot reload, you can see the details from the employee collection that we have uploaded in the Firestore database. Now let's give the space from the bottom. So we'll wrap up a material widget with a container widget, and we'll give the margin from the bottom. So here you can see the first document named Rahul Sharma, age 50 and location United States. And a second document Shivam Gupta, India, 30. So both the documents we can see in our app by using a stream builder, and we can successfully read all the details for that respective collection. So let's move and add one more users, and it will show the details of that user in the home page in just few seconds. So in the name I will write Manoj De and age 34 and location India. Now click on add. So details has been uploaded successfully. Now let's move to the home page again, and here you can see that it just take a few seconds to show the details from the Firestore database. So we have done the second part of our CRUD method, which is read. So if you got to know how to read the data from the Firestore database, then do not forget to hit that like button down below. Now let's move to the third part of our CRUD, which is update. So we'll move to the text widget, and we'll wrap up with a row widget, and in the row widget I will provide a icon edit so that user can directly edit the employee detail from the home page. Now I will create a show dialog box here so that user can see all the details of that respective employee and can edit one by one through the text field. So in the future I will write edit employee detail, which will be the our function name, and in the string id we'll pass a respective id of that document, and in the builder I will write context, and in the context I will write alert dialog. Now content, container, child, column, children, and in the children we'll write row widget here, because I will also create a close button so that they can close the show dialog box by using this icon, and a to text that we have already wrote in the app bar, which will be edit details, and we'll wrap up the icon with a gesture director, and in the on tab function I will write navigator dot pop context so that it can automatically pop out the dialog box from there. Now I'll copy the same name and the text field that I wrote in employee.dart file, because this will also save the time write the code again and again, and we'll paste it in the column widget, and we need to also pass a controller so that we can handle the text field. Now let me show you what all things I've wrote in the dialog box. So we'll wrap up the icon with a gesture director, and we'll call a function edit employee detail. Now in the id we'll pass a respective id of that document so that we can update that document in just few seconds. Now when I'll tap the edit icon here, you can see the dialog box that I'm talking about. So here the font size is too large, so let me decrease the font size to 20. Now let's move the text to the left side. So again we'll write cross axis alignment dot start in our column widget and also provide the space between the headline and the text field. Now we'll create a update button here so that user can update the details of that respective employee by pressing this button. Now to show the text in the text field so that user can update the details of that respective employee, we need to assign the text field with the text that has been already shown in the Firestore database. So we'll write name controller.text ds name, age controller.text ds age, and same for the location. So by doing that, we are assigning a name, age, location to the respective text field so that user can edit the respective details easily and can update the document from the Flutter app. Now when I click to the edit button, you can see the name Rahul Sharma, age 50 and the location. Now let's move to the update button to the center and we'll also provide the height from the top by using the size box. Now let's move, and when I'll click to the edit button here, then here you can see that it calls all the user detail in the respective text field like name, age and the location. So by using the update button, I can update the name and the age and the location of that respective employee by using this text field. But before that, we need to add the function in our elevated button so that it will be called whenever we'll press the update button here. So let's move to the database.dart file and we will create a function name update employee detail. So we'll write future update employee detail. Now we need to pass our respective document ID so that we can update the document from the Firestore database by using this ID here. So this is the respective ID of that respective employee document. So we need to go to that respective document and can make the update by a unique ID of that employee. Now we'll write return await Firebase firestore.instance.collection and we'll pass a collection name employee here. Now dot doc, and as I've told you, there is a respective doc ID for each document and we'll use dot update function, and in the dot update function we'll again pass a map string dynamic here which is a updated map here. So we'll write a map name update info and we'll pass it to dot update function here. So by using this update function, it can quickly update the respective document of that employee. Now let's move to the home.dart file, and now on the onPress function, first I will create a map string dynamic and will pass a map name update info and will pass name, age, location. We are writing this because if the user want to edit any of the text field and want to update the respective document, then we'll pass a updated map to that document and we'll write location, and in the location we'll write location controller.text and we'll also pass the respective ID. Now await database methods dot update employee detail, and in the ID which will be the respective ID and update info which will be the map string dynamic, and through the dot then method will directly pop out the dialog box here by using navigator.pop context. Now let's hot restart it again. Now let's update the Manoj Day age to 20 here. Now we'll click to the pencil icon and we'll change the age from 30 to 20. Now I'll click on the update button and you can see that it just take a few seconds to update the age in our Firestore database. Now let's update the user name here. So I will write Rahul Gupta here and we'll click on the update button and you can see that it just take a few seconds to update the name from Rahul Sharma to Rahul Gupta here. And let's also update the location of that employee to England, and again you can see the update in the Firestore database. So our update part is done and we have successfully executed the third part of our CRUD method, which is update. Now let's move to the fourth part of our CRUD method, which is delete. So now we'll create a icon delete here. So when the user will press a delete icon, then it will delete the respective document from the collection name employee. So we'll first create icons.delete. Now we'll give the color to our icon. So we'll write colors.orange. Now remove the main axis alignment dot space between and we'll give a spacer here, and through the spacer it will provide a maximum space between the widgets here. Now we'll give a size box with 5.0 between our two icons so that we can easily get a minimum space between the two icons to execute the update and delete function. Now let's move to the database.dart file, and here I will create a function name delete employee detail. So we'll copy the same update function here and we'll just change some of the code for our delete employee detail and we'll call a dot delete function here. Now let's move to the home.dart file and we'll wrap up the icon with a gesture detector, and in the onTap method we'll pass a database methods dot delete employee detail and we'll pass a respective document ID by DSID. Now let's hot restart it again. So now if I want to delete a Manoj De details here, which is our second employee, so I'll click to the delete icon here and it will take just a few seconds to delete that document from the respective collection name employee, and you can see that respective document has been also deleted from the Firestore database. Now let's remove one more document here. So we can successfully delete a respective employee detail from our app. So our fourth part is also done, which is delete from our CRUD method. Let's move to the database.dart file and the function add employee detail, which is a first part of our CRUD method, which is create. Get employee detail function is our second part of our CRUD method, which is read, and update employee detail is our third part of our CRUD method, which is update, and our last part is delete from our CRUD method. So we have successfully navigated through the complete Flutter Firebase CRUD operations, turning theory into practice with our real projects. Though I've tried my best to make it as easy as possible so that beginner can also understand the code. And if you enjoyed this video and want to show some extra love and support, consider buying us a virtual coffee. Every sip fuels our coding adventure and keep the Flutter magic alive. You can find the link in the description box. Also, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button so that you won't miss out on any of the amazing content we upload on this channel. Until then, keep coding, keep having fun. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.